Hi, welcome to another episode of Professional Spotlight. I'm Pallavi Sharma, Director of PR and Social Media at Girls in Tech. And our guest today is Shivani Khanna. She's the Director of Product Management Transaction Services at SPS Commerce. She has over 12 years of work experience in the IT field, and she received her master's degree in computer science from St. Cloud University. So welcome, Shivani.
Thanks, Pallavi.
Very nice to have you here. So tell us a little about, apart from what I've already introduced you as, tell us a little about yourself and what got you interested in the IT field in science and technology.
I've spent my entire life in technology growing up. My dad was a scientist and so was always interested in sciences. I started off my career as a computer science developer because that's always what I wanted to do. And a few years into it, I got into an opportunity of founding and leading a completely new business unit, which kind of led me into product management. And that was about 5 years ago, and ever since I've stuck with product management.
Interesting. So how do you think your family and your culture had any impact on your decision making to get into the science field? How did that?
Definitely had a lot of influence. As I said, my dad was a scientist and my mom is a linguist. So my sister and I, from the beginning, we were always very, very interested in sciences in general. And bought a computer and I started tinkering around. I loved what we could do. I loved the fact that I could write a little program and create my own game or create a little chat messenger that I could chat with my friends with. So just that I think by itself got me very interested, and my parents obviously very, very supportive of us being in technology. In fact, when I was growing up, I don't even think it was a debate about what field to be in. Yeah. I think because of the careers of my parents,
right.
It was just a natural decision for me to be in technology.
Very exciting and very inspiring too. So could you share with us a day in SPS Commerce and what's that like?
Yeah, I've been with SPS for about 9 months now, and it's been a hell of a ride, an absolute amazing experience. I play the role of a lot of collaboration between different teams, development, sales, marketing, sales engineering, implementation. So we have a lot of teams that work very closely together. I'm responsible for setting the product strategy for a few of the product teams, and then making sure that we execute on it and educate the business about it. SPS is the leader in retail business software. So we actually make the software that eventually allows retailers like Target and Macy's and Nordstrom's to actually put the product on their shelves. It is amazing to see the kind of impact that SPS has. We have about $1 trillion of purchase order transactions flowing through our systems in the course of a year.
That's very impressive.
So that's a pretty significant percentage of the retail business industry that we're responsible for right here. We're really at the brink of disrupting the entire retail business network right now. So amazing opportunity, really cool culture, great place to be right now.
Very fun. That's awesome. So tell me about what you've done to increase your skill set so far, going back to your career and to you as a person. What can you advise us in terms of increasing skill set, getting better each year?
Sure. Yeah, I've spent a lot of my career, especially since I started as a software developer, a lot of my interests outside of work around technology have actually helped me get to where I am today. Even in the product management position, I feel like being able to understand tech in such an intimate basis and being able to relate that information back is a very, very desirable skill set. Yes. And so keeping on top of it with growing trends, side projects, getting involved with tech events around town, and we have one of the best. I feel like we have one of the best tech communities around here. Yeah. That we should totally take advantage of, and that's actually really helped me a lot too. Being a part of Mini Demo, being a part of Startup Weekend, and especially all the work that you guys are doing. I feel it's a great opportunity for everybody to get involved and learn.
Could you talk to us a little about one of your side projects, for an example? What is it that you do?
Yeah, so over the last few years, I've spent most of my time on the side, out of choice, working on iOS development.
Okay.
So I have about 5 different projects that I have going on right now. One specifically focuses on iBeacons. And it's super interesting because I started working on this before I came to SPS, and beacon technology is basically Bluetooth, low energy Bluetooth that can send you notifications, and it's being adopted on a very wide scale in the retail industry. So, things that are that I've done on the side have tremendously helped me with shaping where we need to go as a company, but also it gives me an edge because it helps me understand,
Right.
And keep up with what's emerging. So that's one of the projects that I worked on. Another one I actually worked on with one of my husband's cousins, who's an assistant principal at one of the school districts, on a hall pass app. So teachers don't have to manually write out the pass and keep track of it, and a system that actually keeps track of it and sends notifications to the teacher's iPad, so
Right.
they're constantly in sync,
That's
and
a
the
very
teachers
cool
know
idea. Yeah.
where the students are at.
Huh.
And that, I developed it nights and weekends for this one school in Sartell, Minnesota, and that app now has been downloaded about 50,000 times.
Wow.
And so
That's really
definitely
cool.
there's a market for it. And I did not build it with the intention of developing a business
Yeah.
model around it, but now I think I should probably do something about it.
Right, to monetize it in some way. Yeah. Okay.
And there's schools that constantly reaching out to me, and they want it branded for their schools, and they want me to add new functionality. So, just putting it out there,
Right.
has been great. It's been a great learning opportunity for me in terms of skill set.
Yeah.
But also, who knows, may open up a new business opportunity too.
Exactly. Yeah, you never know. You should never underestimate
Yeah.
anything that you build. Absolutely. I think our viewers would really like to know what is that one advice you would want to give to your younger self if you were about 10 years ago or 15, 20 years ago. What would that advice be?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know if I can just pick one thing. Can I give you a bunch of them?
Sure, go ahead. We would love to know that.
I think one of the biggest pieces of insight that I learned along the way was being open and receptive to feedback. I feel like that's been a very important piece of what has shaped me and my career over the years. And usually, we're all kind of defensive to feedback, especially if it is constructive criticism.
Right.
But knowing that, especially when you're getting it in a professional setting, the only reason someone is giving you the feedback is probably because they want you to improve professionally.
Right.
And once I got over the personal aspect of it and actually objectively looked at feedback, I realized that, being open and receptive to that and actually being proactive and asking for feedback
Exactly.
can help you go a very long way.
Right.
That's probably one of the most impactful things that has happened to me in my career that I've learned, and I wish I'd known that sooner.
That's a great advice. Yeah.
A few other things would be, speaking up, making your own destiny. All of these things sound cliche, but I've so started to believe that, especially for women, back in the day when I was in the field of, when I was taking computer science classes, I was the only girl in my class. And it's been like that for me most of my career, except at SPS Commerce, which is a very different environment. We actually, for the first time in development and in product management, get to work with other women. But up until then, I was always usually the minority. And I think one piece of feedback I would give to younger girls looking at this is, I think we create imaginary boundaries for ourselves.
Yes.
And I don't mean we as women only, but I think in a lot of different situations we create imaginary boundaries for ourselves that really don't exist.
Right.
And so we need to look past that. I truly believe that we control our own destiny. Create opportunities for yourself, and more opportunities knock on your door. And so, just those things. Believe in yourself, and one of the mantras that I'm a big fan of is fake it till you make it, because I think that actually goes a long way.
Exactly. I completely agree with you. I mean, I think one of the biggest challenges is just the scare around technology,
Yeah.
you know, that women have. It's like, oh, it's tough to code, it's tough to write a program. So I think that's scary, you know, to be able to get past that is challenging sometimes. Do you think your surrounding and the people you're with makes a huge difference in getting past that, so that when you have people who are supportive, they might be able to, that you might be able to get past that first initial?
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, having the right mentors, having the right people around you definitely makes a huge difference. But I would also say, you know, I always sought out opportunities and things that other people did not want to do, because I looked at that as a challenge for myself, and I'm a big fan of self-learning. I think those two things, you know, seeking out things that other people don't want you to do, it doesn't matter if it's coding or anything else, I think just makes you indispensable.
Right.
So that's a good thing, because, you know, if you find it challenging, odds are everybody else finds it challenging too.
Yes.
And so if you were the one who raises your hand and says, yes, I want to do it, I think that just creates a whole new set of opportunities.
Exactly.
You know, and then of course having the right support around you, but also self-learning. You know, we're as I think, you know, there's this whole notion of continuous improvement, and I totally believe in that. You know, there's an opportunity to learn and grow every day, and I think we just need to find those opportunities for ourselves.
Right.
And but yeah, definitely the environment also makes a difference.
Awesome. Well, so any last words?
Last words. Well, I will say, to your point about coding is hard, I think in my career, I would say, having done this, you know, I wouldn't want it any other way, even if this was 10 years ago. And in fact, I would kind of make the statement that I feel like getting into software engineering is probably one of the easiest things you can do. You know, it's whether you're looking, and especially for women, you know, I don't have kids, so I don't know if I have authority to say any of this, but women who are looking to start a family, there's no better profession than to be a computer engineer, because there's so much of flexibility of working from home. There is so much of a demand on, you know, and where we're headed with, you know, the speed at which technology is evolving is changing so much. In every industry, pretty much since the 1800s, is getting rebuilt now, because it's undergoing disruption. I mean, it is the best time in history for either boys or girls to be in the field of technology. And to me, you know, when I just look at other people who are doing other things, to me it feels like it is probably one of the easiest career paths to choose. And I don't mean easy in terms of, you know, there are not going to be challenges along the way, but easy in terms of, you know, it's such a gratifying job because it's so black and white. You know, when you write a piece of code, either it works or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's no gray area. So I am a huge proponent of especially where technology is going, for having more boys and girls being a part of this.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Professional Spotlight. Please don't forget to visit our website at www.GiTMSP.org, and don't forget to subscribe to our e-newsletter. Special thanks to SPS Commerce for providing us the space today. Thank you.